Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming Bill Johnson, who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And he was also in Future Kill, and he was in movies like D.O.A, Paramedics, Talk Radio, the Oliver Stone movie. Having him on the show today to talk about all that stuff and promoting his appearance at Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, North Carolina, February 14th through the 16th. And I'm pretty excited. Yep, I can't wait. I am so fucking lucky with the people I get on this show. I say it all the time, but I'm going to keep saying it because I am fucking lucky. So yeah, here is my interview with Bill Johnson.
Gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage the insane silence of Tommy Kovac. Yes, sir. Thanks very much.
Welcome to the show, Bill. How are you?
I'm in the middle of research mode, so I got lots of things going on all at the same time.
Well, I'll make it really easy for you. It's such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, thank you. Privilege is mine. Please believe me, there will be one day when I can't even pay someone to do what you do.
You probably wouldn't want to.
Yeah, well, I probably could.
So going back in time, what was that?
Tell me about yourself. Is this like, this is your life deal? This is what you do?
Well, I've been a stand-up comedian 14 years. I've acted all my life. I've been recovering from a car accident for 5 years, and so I started this podcast because I moved to an area that doesn't have any show business because I had to get out of the Bay Area because just things were insane over there. So I came down here and started the podcast.
You may be glad to know that you've been on the path of the hero's journey of the genetic composition of the gene pool.
Yeah.
And humanity in general, really.
Yeah.
Humor is the way we survive. It's one of the only ways we can find things that are so different that a comic takes to come up and find what's relatable.
Exactly.
And then we can start to integrate the differences in order to survive, develop, and continue to transform to the next level.
Yep. So going back in time, did you gravitate toward acting early on?
Define early.
Like early childhood?
I think it may have been in the genes of the mother's side of my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't kind of know that till way, way later. However, having members of my uncles were doing putting on shows, singing song and dance shows for the public. So I should have guessed. But I didn't come to me till like 16 or so. It was in senior year of high school, speech class.
Mm-hmm.
I took it because it was like, oh man, I didn't have like enough anything to get out of school, and I wanted to take something easy, and this was the only thing I could find. Speech. He said, "Hey, you just read stuff. That's all." Okay, I can read.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought, I don't know, acting is. I like movies, okay, but I thought, aren't actors supposed to be sort of weird and uncool?
Yeah.
Dangerous or something? And then I went into the class, and I had like the teacher from outer space. He was so great. His eyes were so strange. He was sort of, he had the eyes of Jigsaw, sort of.
Yeah.
They were blue and they were spirals. And who played Igor in Frankenstein?
Marty Feldman.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
but this guy was like super sharp, smart, and would read to us from Dickens.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell the bullies, sit down and shut up and listen to this. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Time was light, time was dark. And
Yeah, I can imagine.
so, anyway, he said, just, hey, you first day, here's the book, pick something out, whatever it is, doesn't matter, come up and read it and sit down. I found some Shakespeare. I didn't know what it was, but it was at the bottom of the page, like a footnote, and I thought, hey, those are cool things, so I did that. Then, after I did that, the teacher said, hey, Leo, hey, let's go to contest and win some prizes. So we did. I went to speech contest, and from there I was hooked into the theater. You know how it is yourself.
Exactly.
You gotta dance. You can't get away from it.
Exactly. You're from Texas. What part?
Well, most all of my parts are from Texas, but they started out in New England.
Mm-hmm.
I was sort of reborn in Texas.
Oh, okay.
I came here I won a scholarship to Lon Morris College in East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to, like the animal said, get out of this place. And there, Texas was like Canaan. It was Atlantic Ocean. It was so different than New England. So different in a good way, in all the good ways that were really meaningful to me. So I went straight from junior college and into senior college without losing any hours, which was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then through UT Austin. And if you're curious about the past and influences and things, most of them in theater more than I've ever been in film. And hope I didn't sound too snobby when I said
No.
that I met I had B. Iden Payne as my tutor. B. Iden Payne was like oldest living authority on period play production in Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated from grade school in 1896 and was teaching over at UT when I was there when he was in his 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He was taking individual students to tutor. So Bruce McGill was one of them. He was
Oh, D-Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce is a hell of a stage actor.
I've heard.
I remember him in one of the first TV things I ever saw him. That's when he was just breaking into the Hollywood scene, and it was, I think, the last episode of Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm.
And looked like it was set in a sort of a Playhouse 90s setting where it was a live stage play that they had these just brand new to the world, 10-ton video cameras on wheels to view it. And it was sort of a play about Tommy Red Light and William Saroyan sort of like that. Bruce played the bartender, and he was really brilliant.
Nice. So you were on the path of being a movie star.
Nah, I didn't know what I was on exactly. I thought so. I didn't know that I was an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
And introverts are like non-movie star kind of people.
Right.
In terms of what they choose, what they have to have as a way of life, because they refresh their batteries by being alone. Extroverts need to have those folks to recharge. So it's why you see a lot of actors kind of never see them much. They're brilliant at what they do, yet their lifestyle, they're water breathers. They have to live underwater.
Yeah.
Show, and then they can come out of water for a while.
Yeah. You did the low budget horror movie Feature Kill.
I am in Maryland.
Which ironically had Ed Neal and Marilyn Burns in it. Yeah. Did you get to know them?
Yes, I mean, irony. You like irony? You're a stand-up.
Yeah.
So, the Texas Chainsaw franchise. There have been like 6 other faces now, 5 or 6. Me, Gunnar Hansen, and Robbie Jacks, 3 Leatherfaces, and we were all from Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And that in the summer of '73, when we were shooting Chainsaw, that the preceding part of the year, I was at UT with Ed in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And Ed and I had done a number of plays together. So I knew Ed did one pretty well. And Marilyn a little bit. She was a pretty great actress.
Yeah.
Really great stage.
She was good.
Excellent vocal interpretation. So anyway, I knew him, and the director Ron Moore, who I think that may have been his first movie, Future Kill,
Mm-hmm.
put us together. One of the assistant directors was a director of mine in a different movie. So it's a very small community, and they tend to rely on each other's connections.
Right.
What's real and what ain't. You're paying dearly for it out of the pocket. So that was what was happening with Future Kill. As far as my part was involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard Ron Moore. He runs a memorabilia shop now.
Where
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, I don't know where, but he that's what I was reading.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hardly see the old gang anymore.
Yeah. So how does Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 come into your life?
It came about in the ordinary way. Typically, there's an audition notice from the talent agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I had not seen it, so I went out, rented it, VHS, saw it the night before the audition, and it gave me a lot to think about.
Did you like it?
I was frightened.
Mm-hmm.
I felt frightened. I was frightened at a subconscious level. I had the feelings of fright, but wasn't sure why.
Mm-hmm.
I checked the security of the household, doors, windows, that sort of thing. And I thought, man, this is a very powerful movie, and that it's a real piece of art, and that to try to do a continuation of Gunnar Hansen's Leatherface was a lesson in futility. I everybody kind of do what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it takes a while to kind of unravel that after you've gotten used to all the sort of casual mayhem, bloodletting, and focused rage, etc. Kind of the things at the bottom of the black pit waiting.
How long did it take to put the makeup on?
4 hours. It started off at 4 hours, and
wow,
they got it down to 2.
Mm-hmm. Tom Savini.
Yeah, the Tom Savini studio, special effects studio, had a great lineup of folks, and each of them have gone off and gotten awards and kudos on their own nod as well.
Mm-hmm.
And John Bullock was one of them. I think he has crossed over, perhaps. God bless him. But he was part of the design of the mask. Tom Savini told Kim Jong-tu how he wanted the mask to kind of be,
Mm-hmm.
a sense of it, and then just did that kind of fractured psychological portrait of the various paintings of the Scream by Monk. Sewed them together like a patchwork, Raggedy Andy chainsaw.
Oh man.
Chainsaw Wrangler. And there you go. So thankfully, the screenwriter Kit Carson had written a parallel universe, one of absurdity, astounding absurdity, and so was an aspect of his consciousness, which the Firesign Theater calls a modifying spark of humanity. And he was crushed by puppy love, and everything else took a back seat until he could get that girl in the back seat and find out who wrote the book of love and see if he could write a page or two.
Mm-hmm.
and that the family had other plans, as families often do. So it was, what family doesn't have its ups and downs. Typical story of America at the very sort of base of it, perhaps, for corporate America.
Mm-hmm. Bill Moseley, how great is he?
Bill Moseley, he's a crazy mofo.
Yeah.
He likes to have fun. He was as a god. He was just dialed into this from day one, and he just kept getting more and more finely tuned into it. And not everyone, but so many people got sick. He was impervious, and so was Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bill, it's just always fun to be with. And on set, which is like most of the day. We spend a lot of time playing gin rummy and waiting to go on camera. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, the story about how he got cast, right?
Yes, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre story.
That's a real 80s success story, if ever there was one.
It is. It's the little boy that could, the little train that could.
Yeah.
And serendipity and the bizarre kind of energy surrounding the Chainsaw franchise and the way people meet each other.
Mm-hmm.
And get connected to create something. Richard Kouris, the cinematographer for Chainsaw 2, said, Toby makes a very personal film.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can, that doesn't always hold to a counted on. But I think the pressure that Toby was under by the producers, the studios, to have this thing done ASAP immediately, kind of an idea, because of the contract the studios had with the exhibitors. They had to film on screen by X date of time, and that was approaching so rapidly, and the penalties would have been disastrous. So the studios didn't mind applying pressure, and I think that really helped Toby focus even more sharply on what he was doing. He was editing on the set between scenes while he was filming. So he was like in the set at a full gallop, doing fancy shit, wrangling the herd, and and making and sort of sleeping in the saddle, I guess. Eventually, he got the black plague, like we all did. Kind of pneumonia, walking blood, drinks of beer. I had a week in it, but same amount of time. So we had the final day was the 4th of July. And they pulled the plug at 10 a.m. And 10 a.m. signaled the end of the 24-hour nonstop Gotta Have It marathon that, in Toby's absence, Richard Lewis and I think the assistant director put together. And it was just perfect. It all fit together like that,
Yeah.
really nicely.
So why didn't Gunnar return to play Leatherface?
The most not bizarro, but financial.
Oh.
I can believe. Same with Edwin. They had experienced a lot of getting shafted because the rights to this original chainsaw was hornswoggled and flute-neutered by someone that connected with Toby in some way. Business partners, or they were swindlers who came through and were able to take unfair advantage. I don't know what it was. A lot of money was made that never got to any of the cast members or, the crew.
Right.
Loaded. And so Gunnar said, hey, what about better than scale? About, this is a proven product. It's coming. About better than scale. Anything better than scale, they didn't want to hear, and they just stopped negotiation. They didn't really negotiate. They said, this is what we're offering. Take it or leave it. And they made a counteroffer, and they were never contacted again. That's the best of my knowledge of what had happened.
Wow.
I was offered scale, and I said, yeah. You me.
Yeah.
That time it was $1,500 a week for scale for that kind of a role. And that was like insanely huge money back in 86, 85. So now, whatever residual there'd be. So yeah, I thought that's what we were all getting as far as I knew. I don't know about Jim. He was sort of absolutely necessary. The thing about Leatherface, you got a mask on.
Yeah.
They're just going to pay him for a mask.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that certain something that no one else can do, no matter what, like Jim, no one can do Jim.
Yeah.
So unique, and perfectly organic to everything that was going on. It was a delight. He was a painter, and he just had an incredible imagination and and a deft stroke. The way he used words and the phrasing
Mm-hmm.
that is refreshing, which hardly ever happens in a movie, never mind a horror movie.
Yeah. Did you have a feud with the stuntman Bob Elmore?
Define feud.
Like a couple of years ago, I interviewed Bob. I can't remember verbatim of what he said, but he said that he was upset with you about something.
Well, that's kind of vague, so it's hard to comment on that.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I have to go back and listen to it. But I was just curious. That's all. We don't have to get into it.
Yeah. Look, Bob was an awesome stunt double.
Mm-hmm.
He adds so much to that movie. And when I was sick, he did a scene that I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the advantages of having a mask, you know?
Yeah.
So, because they couldn't stop. They couldn't postpone. They had to drive through. Producers had to drive the train right through the town no matter what. So it wouldn't be the same film without him. I feel it's probably fair to say the same of myself. As a performer,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be the same without either one of us. So I don't know what Bob is upset about. I give him credit. I don't know what else he wants.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants anything, in terms of if he's upset. He said he was. I wish him. He's had such a hard couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
and had some terrible grief. And I just, wish him the very best, and that he's gonna, things get better.
Mm-hmm. Something I never noticed before, and it actually
Mm-hmm.
kind of made me laugh when I actually noticed it. The poster
Mm-hmm.
for the movie that you guys made, it's
Mm-hmm.
a parody of The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was because we felt like we were, the next generation. I don't know. Kid Carson, I think, had that idea when we were doing the photo shoot.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I love that. Then you were in the remake of D.O.A.
Yes, Dennis Quaid,
Meg
and
Ryan.
Annabelle Jankel, and Rocky Morton, the
Yeah.
inventors of Max Headroom.
Yeah. How was that
I don't know
experience?
if he's from Canada.
Oh yeah, I loved Max Headroom when I was a kid. He was a spokesman for Coke.
Yeah.
How was that experience overall?
That was very nice. Dennis was, it was a rainy day, so it was very film noir. And we were in the foyer of the courthouse jail structure here in Austin, so it's very gothic-y stone. And the foyer, the doors are open, so it was raining outside, but it was far enough away, but not, that you got the mood of it, but it didn't interfere with the sound. And Dennis's, he needed some menudo, and it came in, but it was so hot it melted the cover of the container, and it ruined the menudo. He was having trouble focusing for a while. We got it, and he chewed me out a little bit. Fortunately, I kind of had a heads up because a fellow actor of his friend that they worked together in Hollywood for a while, Johnny Edson,
Mm-hmm.
who was a stand-in and stunt double for Dennis Quaid for a number of years as he was coming up. and stuff. Just hung out, and the Rocky and Annabelle were very, very appreciative.
Yeah.
So it was lovely working with them. They have a theater background typically in Britain, so the directing is a little bit different than American directors who have mostly photography and film history and filmmaking, but not that much theater. Even though they're related, they can be kind of different. Oh, you know that though.
Yeah. And here's a movie I'm
gathering
sure...
too much here.
No, you're doing great. Here's a movie I'm sure you thought I didn't know. Paramedics.
Stuart Margolin.
Yeah.
From the Rockford Files.
Angel. Yeah.
Angel Martin, that little weasel.
Yeah.
He and his wife were there, and that was a, it was the Keystone Cops. The making of that was the Keystone Cops are making this movie. It was pretty helter skelter.
Yeah. Wow.
Who's it? Chris McDonald, George
Newbern.
George. Yeah. Father of the Bride. Steve Martin.
Adventures in Babysitting. I met him last year at a Comic-Con. He's a great guy.
We see Chris in playing authoritarian roles every now and then. And Justice. Seen him in some of those cop shows and etc. So it's nice to see him circulating through the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to watch that movie on USA Up All Night when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in a long time. How about...
I'm watching... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, how about any stories about Full Moon in Mississippi?
Full Moon and Blue Water?
Oh, Full Moon and Blue Water. Sorry, that was the same year Gene Hackman did Mississippi Burning, so I must have cross-written.
Conflated the two.
Yeah.
Yes,
Full Moon and Blue Water, yes.
Full Moon and Blue and Mississippi. That would have been a great movie, man. That would have been really tense and with romantic hilarity. That was a film that was really... I was doing Paramedics, and they let me off to go do that because my schedule. I didn't have anything to do in the schedule that they were shooting, so I could go over into Houston, which wasn't that far away, and shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Hackman was great to work with. Just so calm and focused and not in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of the regular actors in place, idling, keeping the engine running while you're waiting for everything to come together so you can get off the line and go for the touchdown.
Right.
So that it was fun to work with. Tell you who I didn't work with, but I came in early to get ready to get into makeup, and I stashed my bag in a side room, and I didn't know anyone was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the door, and it was Terry Garr, and I was like kneeling down. She was sitting down, so we were like face to face, and she was right next to the door, and I was just frozen in time for a little bit. We kind of checked each other out. We kind of grokked. Oh yeah, this typically happens. And then I silently moved away. And at the beginning of the scene with Jean, she is just exiting the scene. And she sashays off in a most interesting way, thought my character, as he ogled her like a cartoon villain. And Jean's character saw that and took exception. Later, he after this scene, he said, "Hey man, good work, very good work." My God, what a hit that was!
Yeah, wow, that must have been great. How about working?
What was the surprise bonus card? Someone I didn't work with on that film had met. I was leaving the set and getting ready to go down this little set of stairs attached to a very small deck. And I heard from behind me, "Hey, young man, hold up there! Hey, hey!" I turn around, and it's Burgess Meredith walking his way toward me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an accelerated hobble. And he played the general in this, so he was one of those curmudgeons who was cursing, "God damn it!" And said, "Hey, young man, give me your arm." And he grabs my left arm and holds on. And these goddamn stairs, and they were wet from the dew because we were next to, not far from NASA and the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And Burgess Meredith was, one of the old gods of the theater and film.
Mm-hmm, certainly, he sure was.
Man. And I missed I had been struck to tell him that I really, not only that I dug his work, but I really dug this poem that he had written as part of a preface or foreword to an acting book called The Craftsman of Dionysus.
Ah.
And I just wanted to hit him with that opening line, just to let him know that as a writer and poet, he also succeeded. But I didn't have the guts. Right? And ladies and gentlemen, if you ever in such a situation, jump, make the leap. I wish I had. I did it later in Chainsaw, but not then. It was Dennis Hopper, right?
How about working with Oliver Stone in talk radio?
Oliver Stone was it was like being back in college, because he was like one of the kids in the college drama department who was directing, who was like, you could tell they were super smart and hardworking and kind of ordinary about it, which was really unusual. Usually those folks are kind of snobby a little bit.
Yeah. Have
some kind of standoffishness. But this guy was, up for getting down in the trenches and getting his hands dirty with everybody to get to the essence of what we're about here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he liked to rehearse. He spent a day of money paying everybody to show up and rehearse for the next day for the scene we were doing. It was a big crowd scene. And we talked about the character, what I had, which was, I don't think I had a line. But for him, it was an important character. And we talked about it for a while, and we got in. We did some recording after that for the telephone calls into the talk radio show.
Nice.
And anyway, I was walking out of. I'd wrapped up the last of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was leaving, and one of the production assistants, I thought it was either one of the assistant directors or production assistant, came running up to me because the director was at the other end of the studio in a sound booth.
Right.
I was astounded. He said, "Hey, Ollie wanted me to tell you thank you very much for your contribution." I had thrown some lines because at the end of the telephone conversation, he asked, "Do you have anything you'd like to contribute?" That's not in written. I threw in some stuff there because I wanted to know what the hell was going on with this guy in this shock jock radio who obviously knew that he was causing great damage. Why the hell wasn't he more aware and more humane toward his fellow man, which was not a question asked in that movie, at least specifically.
Yeah.
And there was a big silence after I finished the question. So apparently he liked it a lot. I don't think he used it, but I think he appreciated the perspective.
Yeah.
A lot of his films are about a tremendous perspective, like JFK, etc. Huge, longitudinal studies into the psyche of the cabal, and multiple cabals.
Yeah.
God, I do go on.
You also did an episode of the Ray Bradbury Theater. How was working with Tyne Daly?
God, Tyne Daly. Would I love to meet her? You're reading from my IMDb, I'm imagining.
Yes.
And my lad, let me tell you a horrible truth about the internet.
They lie. I already know.
It ain't necessarily so. No, it ain't. Everything you're liable to read in the Bible and the internet ain't necessarily so. Yeah, there are some things there that Bill Johnson probably did and did well, but I'm not that one.
Okay. Well, are you the Bill Johnson who won a Grammy?
Oh, baby. I wish.
So February 14th through the 16th, you'll be at Mad Monster Party in Charlotte, North Carolina. Do you still like doing conventions?
Conventions are tremendous. Love conventions.
Mm-hmm.
It's the agora of the genre. In the Greek culture, the agora was like where everybody was anyone. Showed up and talked this, that, and the other. They talked trade, politics, money,
Mm-hmm.
and gossip. Sort of like a combination of Washington, D.C. and Wall Street
Mm-hmm.
and Hollywood.
Yeah. Have you done the show before?
So what's happening, you go to the agora
Mm-hmm.
and not be an idiot, which is someone who stays at home. The other code stays at home. So that's literally where idiot comes from. Stay at home and you're out of touch. You don't know what's going on with the people, the community, as they are currently occupying space and time.
Huh, I never realized that. Yeah, I never realized that before. Wow. So have you done this show before?
I do. I have. I love this show. It's a great show. Eben makes the magic happen. It's well run. It's friendly. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of great people. It's full of energy. Very zesty. I'm so looking forward to being there. And it's a great weekend. It's the I Love You weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite.
Do you ever get booked to do cons in California?
Every now and then, I think it is the son of
Monsterpalooza?
Yes.
I go every year to the Monsterpaloozas. I'm going this year.
They're fine set of folks.
Yeah.
That piece of magic over there. The family, there's another family one run in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is it called? Crypticon. Yeah, Crypticon in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Family's been running that. I don't know if they're still doing it. Chaz DeMott's doing Crypticon out in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be coming up. But Mad Monster, divine stuff. So come and have a good time, everybody.
Yeah, this year's Monsterpalooza is going to be the first year they do photo ops.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool.
Sounds exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the option. Are you going to the Mad Monster?
I wish I could. I just don't even have money to fly out of state.
Yes. We'll have to amuse ourselves before long in our own town. Be able to afford to leave.
Yeah. Well, Bill, I hope you have a lot of fun next weekend at Mad Monster. And
Thank you very much.
like I said, if you ever get invited to California, I'll be there.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be sure and contact you, let you know where we'll be, so we can reach out and say howdy.
Awesome.
All the hungry fans.
Awesome. Bill, thank you so much for coming on today.
Tommy, thank you, and live long and prosper, dude.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it. Bill Johnson. Ain't he a cool dude? Interesting guy. Great stories. I like him. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.